Good afternoon to everyone. And the topic of today's webinar is chy.stat news to use. We meet here after quite a while, but today we'll share some news in a development in that chy.stat that happens in, let's say, the last few months. The biggest news I want to show you is that we have a completely new monitoring module with more capabilities, but we get to this a little bit later because before I have to tell you something about some general things that happens and about new catalogs. That is important because the new monitor functionalities depends directly on the catalogs. So we will start. The first thing I want to show you is that there is a new structure in the settings in the monitoring module. So if you go directly to the system, now the general settings is divided into two areas. The first is general itself. It means this is the basic settings that is general for all the system. It means, for example, user management, licenses, APIs, and so on. So this is the setting that is general for all the system. And the general setting that is connected to the monitoring or Krustalus are here in the new submenu of the system settings. And here you can find the catalogs, for example, graphics, algorithm, database setting, and so on. So now the general settings is divided into two groups: the general itself and the general that is connected to the monitor, Ordo, and Krustalus. So this is the first thing I wanted to show you. Second new thing, what's happening here is that the tooltip for the curves is possible. It's the same function as you know from, for example, value chart or monitoring, and I will show you in the system. If we go, for example, to the monitor module and find something that is connected to the, and then the new shift happens. Last hour in here, and we go, for example, here for the bottle crowning. You can see that there is possibility to have the tooltip for the curve, and the configuration is the same as in the monitor and for example in the value chart. So if we go back to the settings in here, and it's in the new submenu in here because it's for the graphics are for the monitoring. Here, for example, the type is the curve, and here on the bottom we have the configuration of the tooltip data. And as I said, it works the same. You need some name for the tooltip, and you need to know what information you want to show in the monitor and where it is stored in the database. So some basic knowledge of the database structure is needed for such configurations. For example, if you want here the name of the machine from the database, it's in here in the catalog field 4063. And just want to show you how it looks when we edit in here. And if we go back to the monitoring, I hope it's the same graphics. And here in the bottom of the tooltip, you can see that that's from the bottle crowning. That's the machine number or the machine description that I added to the tooltip. So this is the same configuration, same functions as maybe you know from the monitoring and the value charts. That's first thing, or the second thing in general that happens. And the last is that there is a new configuration of the report. What change in here is let's say the visualization of the configurations and how it works. For now, you maybe remember that there was some fields that was ordered from the left to the right, how it was then in the protocol. Now it is what you want to see on the protocol from the left to the right in here is from the top to the bottom. As on the column that is on the left side will be characteristic name, and then type, unit, symbol, and so on and so on. And how it looks then in the configuration is if we go to the report settings, and this is attributes, sorry, for the monitor, we have now 6 columns, and it's the same as before. If you configure it, you need some name, you need to know what information you want to show and where it is in the database. What's now better is if you want to switch the order of the information, you can just do it by drag and drop. And as I said before, in here from the top to the bottom means in the protocol itself is from the left to the right. What's also a little bit better in here is the preview how the report will look like, and it gives you better imagination. You can better imagine how it will look like directly in the system. So this is the last change in the general what happened in the graphics and the settings itself. So there is possibility to have tooltip for the curve, and the configuration of the report a little bit changed. And it's not just the report for the monitor for the values, but also, for example, for Crustalus module, the configuration in here is the same way. Some different functions, but this is not a topic for today. And so this was the generals. And now I think we can go. And one more remark: if you have any questions, you can ask directly through the chat or through the Q&A. That is possibility in Zoom, or you can use raise your hand function, and I will give you a word, and you can ask directly. This is something I forgot to tell you in the beginning. And now I think we can go for the new monitoring. So what's the biggest news? The biggest news in the monitor is that since this time, the only catalog you can use for the monitoring data was a machine. Nothing else was possible. From now, you can use any catalog you have. So, for example, in here, the overview of the monitoring that you know is something like this. In here, you have your machines and the pieces that was produced on that machine. And you have some indicators that are connected to the machine. In the new in this new monitor, what's possible is you can have another catalogs, another possibilities. So, for example, in here we have it divided according the machine and the part that was produced, And then it means that also the indicators are connected to this combination. So for example, in here, we have operation 20 and some New England IPA, and the indicators in here are connected to this combination. So you have better overview what's happening in your production, and you can react to this information. And it's not just the product. You can have anything that you have in the catalogs. For example, measuring machines. If you want to see what's the, let's say, productivity of your measurement center, and you want to see how many parts is measured, of what types, and so on, you can have this information in the monitoring now. And how it works on the background. What's necessary is that all these information has to be in the catalog. So if you want to show some overview according to types or products, you need a catalog for that. If you want to show overview according to measuring machines, you need a catalog for that. And how it works with the catalogs? What is changing here? So in the general settings for the monitor order and Crustalus, there is a new item called catalogs, and in here are all the catalogs that are right now possible. And in here you can see that it is possible to edit only catalogs defined in the database structure settings. So if we go a little bit up, in here we have the definition of the database, and here is the catalogs that is now, let's say, configured for usage in the HISTA. We have machine, tool, products, and so on and so on. And in here is other possibilities. And each catalog has two base information that is necessary, and that's the ID. That means where the ID of the catalog entry is stored for the data, and what's the key fields for the catalog. This is the little bit advanced settings. You have to really be sure what you are doing here. So you have to be really careful, because in here lots of things can go wrong from here. So this is just some general settings. Basically, one of our colleagues set this up for the first time, and then nothing else is necessary to do. But I want to show you just to understand a little bit on the background how the monitor works. So that's the first thing. You have to define your catalog. And if we go to the catalogs itself, for example, for the machine catalog, you can create a structure, some kind of hierarchy, how it will then look like in the modules itself. For example, this machine, I don't know what exactly it is, but it's not important. Now you can add to any folder, let's say, in here, and store it. If you delete it, it doesn't mean you will delete the record, but the only thing you delete in here is the hierarchy setting. So it will go here to the uncategorized. So this is how it looks, for example, for the machine. For the products, it's the same. You can have also the structure and add some the products for you into the structure. And if you check this, the edit button, you can see only a color can be edited, and this is okay, because the records for the catalog now are only created by upload. Nothing else is possible right now, and it it will be changed in the future, but right now only catalog can create new records for the upload. And that's something. It looks like this. I will show you in the system. For example, if you are creating the catalog for the machines, you need to know what's the key field. In this case, it's the machine name, and where the machine name is stored in the data that is loaded into the database. In here, in this case, it's some field 1087, and it works like that. The new record, if new data are loaded into the database, the information that is in this field in the data is matched to the informations in this field in the catalog. If the record is found, the ID of the record is used. If it's not found, the new entry in the catalog is created, and the ID of this new record is then used for the data. So after that, you have in the data you have IDs for the catalogs. So if you want to show in the monitoring the hierarchy according to the products and the machines, you need to have there also IDs for the product and for the machines. And you can do it only in the catalog. So if we go back to the system, it's in the upload settings, and in the organization of the data. In here we have the product and the machine. And if you want to use, for example, product catalog, we will have it in the field 4112, and it's matched according to this number. So this is also just some general information for you, because it's not a thing that you will decide that you want to see, for example, product hierarchy in the machine and do some settings that it will work. It's not possible. There has to be some additional data in the database. So it has to be set up. The IDs of the record has to be created, and after that you will be able to see this information in the system. So it's not only just setting. Some additional information in the database is needed to work this properly. So this is the catalog settings, and as I said, right now this is only for the monitoring module, but later it will be also possible, for example, for Gustav's. And this is just summary what I said before. Editing catalog, editing of the catalog hierarchy only, new records by upload, and it's for the monitor right now. And how the hierarchies work for the monitoring? If you want to create the new hierarchy, how it works? So if we go in here to the general settings of the monitor, there are two types of settings. First is that's same as before. You need some piece identifier. That's some information that the data that will tell you the unique information of each piece that is in the system. In our way, in how we have it in here in our demo, it's 0014, that's part ID, and the date and time. Those two informations give us the unique record for each piece. And how it works for the hierarchy. As I said before, only information from catalogs can be used here. So we have in the general settings some catalog that are configured that can be used. And here we are creating, we will create new hierarchy for the monitor. And how it works, I will show you in the new setting, but I will not save it after that. For example, you can select that you want hierarchy for the product. You can select that you want a hierarchy according the machine, for example. And so then on the monitor, you will have the product and the machine. For every hierarchy, you can select what data can be in that hierarchy. So, for example, if you want to show here only some part of the production, you can select with this. It's also the same configuration as everywhere else in the system. So you need to know what, for example, information are stored in the what keys, and according that you will create the logical the conditions, the where condition, what data will be used for this specific hierarchy. And each hierarchy can have different conditions. That's also important. And another thing that is new is here the retention period of pieces. And it is the max period of time that will be available in the monitor. And right now, in the older versions of monitors, this retention period was in the operation memory, in the RAM stored. So if you have lots of machines and lots of data, the demand on the RAM was quite high. And it was you were limited by the hardware how many let's say how long period you may have in the system. In this new monitor, this cache informations are not stored in the RAM, but it's stored in the database. So you can have much more longer period to show in the monitor, but also it has some disadvantage. First disadvantage is that, of course, it is a little bit slower than before, and there is a bigger traffic to the database. But it's not something that is it's not so critical, let's say. But the biggest advantage is, as I said before, you can have much more longer period. And the second advantage is that if you do some changes in the configurations, for example, in the marks, you change something, or in the indicators, you know that in the older versions of monitor, the whole cache was deleted and it loaded again from each change in the settings of the monitor. And if you have lots of data, lots of machines, it can take sometimes several hours, for example. Right now, in this new monitor, this cache is not reloaded automatically, but it's up to you. So you can select if you do some changes in the, for example, in the settings for the marks in the monitor. And I will open, for example, one mark, do some change and click apply. It will show me that a setting can affect a historical of pieces, and you can manually reload the pieces, the history for the pieces. And what this means is that you should go in the settings of the monitor, and here is two possibilities to reload the data. And now it's completely up to you. So you can decide how long to the history from in here. We have 3 days. So you can select length of the period that to be reloaded. So if you want to reload 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, up to the minutes. And the biggest advantage is that if you do some changes that do not affect the historical data, for example, you add some new marks or you add some new indicators and so on, it will not affect all the data. you don't have to reload historical pieces at all. Some disadvantage is, on the other hand, if you change some settings that will affect historical data, and you will not reload the whole history, you will have two different settings in the system, and that can be quite confusing. So you have better possibilities to do this, but also bigger responsibility to show the right data in here. And what's also important, or something new, is that you see directly how many parts will be loaded. In this case, it's 45,000 pieces, and where it is. And there is a progress bar, so you can see how long it will take. So this is the general settings of the monitor. You will select what hierarchy you want to see. You will select the what pieces you want to see in this hierarchy, and you have to load the historical pieces. And how it looks. So this is the general possibilities. In here, you will define the general settings. And what's how it looks like in the monitor configuration itself. If we create some new record, for example, testing overview, and I have to select the hierarchy. For example, I will select the product and the machine. And what's also different in here is this part, hide hierarchy elements without data. If you have multi-level hierarchies, it will be checked by default. And this is the reason is that if you have the multi-level hierarchy, it means that the combinations, all combinations are possible from those hierarchies. So you can imagine that if you have 20 machines and 20 products, all of the combinations is 400 records, for example. So it will be quite a big hierarchy. So in this multi-level hierarchies, this checkbox is by default on. If you have only one level hierarchy, it's you can select if you want to hide empty elements without the data or not. But if you have the multi-level, it's on by default. And everything else is the same as it was. So you can select how many, what's the maximum length of the display period. So we have in the definition of the hierarchy that I think there was 3 days, but maximum display period is 1 day. So you can see 3 days in total, but only a day at once. So this is also important for the performance of the system, because longer period you will see, you will show in the hystat more data has to be loaded, and it can take some time. You can select what marks you will show, and what indicators. That's the same as it was before. And what's new is here how the filters works, because you can select the information from the catalog, and till this time it was something like this, that you will select and it will be just highlighted in the system in the list. And if you have bigger here, it can be a little bit confusing to search what's filtered and what's not. Right now, it works the same as the indicators and the marks. On the left is everything. On the right is what you have selected. And if you select nothing, the whole hierarchy will be displayed. So it's a little bit better to see what's happening was happening here. And you can go apply. And for the settings I had, there is no data. So this is then the configuration in the monitor. Just what's new is that you have to select the hierarchy. You will to show in the overview, and that's basically it. And the height elements for the multi-level hierarchies is on by default. Everything else is the same as it was. So this is the monitoring. What we have here. Yeah, this is the thing I just told you how this works. And then we have the information, just the screenshots of the monitoring module. And this is important. For example, in here we have beers and operations. So we know that to the, I don't know, 157, this product was produced on the lines, and from this time we have the new product, and we have the indicators that are connected to the product. So it means that these numbers are for the IPA and, for example, operation 30. These numbers indicators are for New England IPA and operation 35. Yes, so all the indicators are now also divided according to hierarchy we have. One thing that is connected to this is also the definition of the indicator targets. So if we go to the system settings, in the monitor, we have some indicators. The definition of the indicators is the same as it was, but what is new here is the definition of the targets. And it means that here on the top, you have the target value that is general for the all elements you have here. So the default target is 99%. And if you have some exceptions that you want something different from this 99%, you have to do it in the targets for the hierarchy. So, for example, in here we are in the hierarchy machine and the product, and we have for the operation 10. So all the products that is done on the operation 10, we have target value 80%. Then the definition of the target is also the same as you know. For the operation 20 and New England IPA, we will have 75, and for the operation 50 and New England IPA, we have target 80%. Yes, so and it's the same in here. So for each hierarchy, if you have some special settings, then this general one, you have to configure it for each hierarchy separately. And so this is what we have in here. Some general settings, and then some special settings for special cases. And what's also new is also connected to the new monitor is in the Fenestra. If you connect, if you will configure some widgets from monitor, you have to select the hierarchy. So, for example, if you want to show you the value of some indicator, you have to select the indicator you want to show. You want to select the machine, the hierarchy from what you want to show the indicator, and what machine and what product. And the same is if you want to show, for example, the piece detail, the indicator value, but also the detail. Yeah. So right now, till this time, you will always select only a machine because everything was connected to the machine. In the new monitoring module, you can have more hierarchies. So if you configuring, if you configure the widgets from monitor, you have to select the product and the or you have to select all the elements from the all hierarchies you have here. So in this case, machine, and product. And I think that's all. That's everything. What will be next? What's in the plan is that there will be some new calculations, for the descriptive statistics. I think some functions from normal distributions, some basic calculations like minimum, maximum, and so on. To the new calculations is connected to the new graphics. For example, there will be cumulative distribution function. That's important for the capability evaluation, let's say. There will be also the new features for the curves, some predictive features. There will be some measurements possible in the graphs. I think it will be also quite interesting to see. And of course, last but not least, there will be completely new Fenestra. Let's say not from the user point of view, but the configuration will be completely new. It will be much more easier to configure your dashboard. So stay tuned for the next news. So this is everything from my side. And do you have any questions, please? Because I see nothing in the Q&A and in the chat. So if you have some questions, now is the time. So no questions at all. So thank you for your attention. The recording of the webinar will be available via link from Zoom or on the YouTube. So if you want to, you can see it later on those platforms. So thank you for your presence here. Goodbye.